Some of you may have seen some of the previous videos that I've made over the last couple years of these trips that we like to do for about a week long, basically overlanding, focused around different off-road parks that we want to visit. There'll be several episodes that cover this week-long trip that we did. I'll be narrating throughout some of the video to give you a little bit more behind-the-scenes info, but I'll also throw in some clips that Jack made. He did a lot of the planning for this trip and also did most of the trip leading.
Hey, Jack from Jack Off-Road coming to you from a secret area in Ohio with lots of beer cans. So you get 3 guesses. The fun's already started. Ow! Driving the Ohio roads, Robert ripped a shock mount off, and it also took part of his frame. Now you would think from Florida it would not be rusty, but it is. So thanks to Robert and I for inviting a guy last minute. Robert now has a shock tower welded back onto his frame. But does he have a frame behind the shock tower? The world may never know.
This secret location Jack is referring to is called the Forbidden Zone. This place definitely left all of us with some mixed feelings. The trails were actually pretty nice. There was a lot of different terrain, a lot of good challenges. Unfortunately, the campsite, not so much. This was pretty much the most trashed up place we've ever been. On top of that, after a day of wheeling, we got back to our campsites and several of us noticed we had quite a few items stolen.
Hey, Jack from Jack Off-Road, day 1 at camp, waiting for other people to show up, but Kevin's making cinnamon rolls. Blazer made it. Hey, look, Ryan showed up. I didn't even know that. Look, it's Ryan. Heck yeah. It's a party now.
This is Shane, someone that had been to the park many times and knew it well. He was nice enough to hook up with us and show us around for the day.
Jack and Jack Off-Road, Day 1, Trail 1. Robert and his sewing machine, working his way up through a creek bed. I got hung up a little bit, but we had to do some maneuvering and drove out of it. But it's pretty good stuff. It's Ohio. It's not mud. There's rocks. You know, there's some water. So good times. Ryan lost a mirror. Aaron lost a mirror. Dave has a negative curved door. It's an innie now.
This section of the trail was challenging for all of us. It was fairly steep, just rocky enough and just sloppy enough to give us all a challenge. Here you can see Kane's all-terrain tires not helping him any, and apparently towards the top of this trail he was beating on it pretty good and ended up bending his track bar. You'll see us attempting to fix that later on.
Watch, Jack.
Here you can see they're getting creative, bending Kane's track bar back, sticking it in a tow hitch with a little persuasion from a winch. Dave gashed his sidewall pretty bad on the trail. We attempted to patch it, but it wasn't holding. The problem was his spare wasn't in much better condition. That would end up being a problem for him later on in the week. Working on at least one vehicle in an auto parts parking lot became a common theme on this trip. The running joke was the only reason Kevin came on this trip was to let us all do maintenance on his vehicle. But everyone was happy to help with any trail or parking lot fixes to keep all the vehicles running for the week. We made it to our next campsite for the night, much better than our first one. A few small repairs were made, and more memories were had around the campfire. Stay tuned for our next episode when we visit Rocks and Valleys Off-Road Park.